So we've had one round of matches from both groups. We're going to hop back across now to Group A. Here we go. The next match from this group, we have Canary Wolf facing off against the Anagrams. Now the Anagrams have yet to pick up a point, so they really need to get off the mark here. The first event is going to be Zook Marbles. And lining up for Canary Wolf, we have Crocodile King. Looking ready to go, looking very mean, very eager. That's what we like to see.
Still very deadly. I can see it doing well. See Crocodile King doing well. And Kuka Bunk Zords. Again, an anagram of what, perhaps?
Cruder Knobs Zook.
I see, and I very much, I can see those 3 words perhaps coming into play in Zook Marbles. I'm not sure how, but we'll see.
Please don't elaborate.
Kuka Bunk Zords already slightly off the edge of the table, but perhaps perhaps it doesn't need those extra legs because there's so many to start with. Crocodile King, good posture for a crocodile. I like the tail as well. Some say the tail always points north. Only a rumour though.
Let's see if that tail helps out Crocodile King as we start Zook Marbles.
Immediately pushing the marbles out of the way, Crocodile King really takes the lead. That tail, it's probably helping, but caught in the doors, and Kuka Bunk Zords, despite the slow start and minimal acceleration, has gained the victory, and you've got to be happy with that if you're Kuka Bunk Zord.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I think Crocodile King is going to be disappointed. I think maybe wasn't quite as mentally prepared as Crocodile King needed to be. A strong start, but just completely lost focus partway down the course. The Anagrams have taken a 1-0 lead. The next event is going to be Zook Smash. We have Bulldozer. And we're going to see Biofin's Mazoku for the Anagrams. Biofin's Mazoku, of course, an anagram of Minibus AF Zook.
We have to say this is Bulldozer's event. It's called Zook Smash. And what do bulldozers do? Smash, I think. I'm not a builder. We can see them warming up already on the line, eyeing up their things that they have to smash through. And as we start the event, Bulldozer's fallen behind. That's not what you want to see. Considering this is supposed to be your prime event, and this is, well, that was a very quick victory.
Yeah, again, going around in circles again. I don't know what Bulldozer's thinking. Starts chasing its own tail partway through the event. That's going to need some work, I think. But take nothing away from Biofin's Mazoku. That is a promising Zook Smash performance there. This is event number 3. It's Zook Sumo. And we have Stingfire for Canary Wolf. And Multi-Tasteful Fender is lining up for the Anagram.
Eyeing each other down as they begin. And, well, that's already a strong... And, well, it's over in a blink of an eye.
Stingfire is not a weak Zook, but you'd have to say that Bulldozer would probably be better suited to this. Whereas Multi-Tasteful Fender, those clamping jaws at the front really did a good job of holding Stingfire's head still, which I think might have made all the difference in the end. This means, though, that the Anagrams have beaten Canary Wolf 3-0, and we now go into our next event, our next match even, which is Team Andrew Eat by Bulls. You're back again for another match. This time you're up against Zog Performance. Now, the first event is Zook Sumo. Can of Soda is lining up against Sarah Striker. Are you afraid? You should be afraid.
I'm afraid for the other team for losing so bad and having to cry home to their mother.
Fighting words there from Team Andrew Eat by Bulls.
That actually is quite terrifying. I actually don't know how I feel about this matchup now. But we'll see how it plans out. That flipper, maybe more powerful. It's not powerful enough to lift it. I'm gonna level with you. This might be a very clean win for the other team. But let's see how the event pans out as we go immediately. And well, would that be who? Well, who would you say won that?
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Let's see if we can get a slow-mo replay of what happened there. I think that's confirmation that Can of Soda did in fact remain on the table for slightly longer than Sarah Striker. Against all the odds.
Can of Soda!
Can of Soda has just beaten Sarah Striker at Zook Sumo. It is 1-0 to Team Andrew Eat by Bulls. Were you expecting that?
No, not at all. You've seen that thing. It's scary, man. Can of soda's a can of soda. They're like, you can get them at like Tesco for like 80p.
It's 80p well spent. We've got a 1-0 lead. Going into Dodgy Zook, the first time we've seen this event so far. And we have Tooth Decay and Wiz. Any predictions for this one?
Currently, Team Andrew Eat by Balls is undefeated, so the confidence got to be an all-time high. Wiz, I hear, also is afraid of teeth, so hopefully that'll play some sort of factor.
I think that's going to really get into Wiz's head. You might also notice that Tooth Decay has the advantageous green side, which is almost certainly going to help you, I would say. I mean, that is all decided at random, but it looks like you've got things working in your favour here.
Clock counts down. As he immediately head towards the line, and we see that turning circle from Tooth Decay is really playing into a strong position, and that was near perfect, I might say. Near perfect. Wiz, valiant effort, but teeth in the head. Tooth Decay, teeth on the field, and that is what matters in the end.
If you say so. Wiz was doing all right, but just got a bit stuck up, a bit stuck on the second panel there, and just never quite got back into the game. Whereas Tooth Decay, very smooth, very fluid. 2-0 to Team Andrew Eat by Balls. Now the last event is Zook Cubes. And we have the confusingly named Merry-Go Zook for Team Andrew Eat by Balls. A minimalist design.
Minimalist design, maximum victory.
And the opponent for Merry-Go Zook is Grompy. Now we saw Grompy very aggressive in Merry-Go Zook. I think it's going to be better suited to Zook Cubes.
Maximalist design, minimum victory, some might say.
Outrageous from Devil Panda 555 there. The disrespect.
Speed immediately off the line, and they're close. They're very close. But Merry-Go Zook takes an immediate lead, and oh wow, that's well, his competitors frankly never recovered from a pile-up of cubes in the middle section. Perhaps that shovel actually didn't play that into his hands. That plow really blocked it off from actually pushing through the cubes, and maybe took on too many cubes at once.
Yeah, it did seem Grumpy got kind of stuck partway through. It was a strong start, but Merry-Go Zook, despite lacking a shovel, really, of any description, somehow did a better job of clearing a path through the cubes. And
perhaps because it is itself made of cubes.
Right, yeah, the cubes recognised Merry-Go Zook as a friend and parted. Regrettably, it does mean that at the end of 2 matches, Team Andrew Eat by Balls has won all 6, which I haven't done the maths, I think it guarantees you a spot in the knockout rounds.
I believe it does. I actually believe anagrams can only catch up to 6 points, and I don't think anyone else can get even close to it. So Canary Wolf can only get a maximum of 5. Really, this is a match between anagrams and Canary Wolf. Perhaps Zog Performance can win all 3, but that'll be tough.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how things shake out in the final round. The anagrams move up into second position, so that's a good rebound from a disappointing opening match there for the anagrams. Good stuff. Zog Performance, still no points.
So if Zog Performance has a better head-to-head and anagrams and they'll go through, but then that's, again, assuming they can even get 3 points. Let's see how Group B is going to shake out as we're now halfway through the group stage.
Mad Skills, doing me proud at the moment, 2 points. The first match, then, of this part is going to be Apex Industries against the Basketball Superstar. And the first event is going to be Merry-Go Zook. Representing Apex Industries is Marauder Mark II. And who is it for the Basketball Superstar? Well, I didn't see this coming. They've got Ali Uber.
As that turntable starts to power up, we see that those arrows are really intimidating for Marauder, and that is clinical from Marauder, and immediately turns over Ali Uber, and Marauder's not doing that amazingly to stay in the centre, but ultimately that doesn't matter, because Marauder's gained the ground, broken down his opponent.
Yeah, that was exceptionally good from Marauder Mark II. Just the design of that shovel was perfect for just scooping Ali Uber up and onto its back. And then, did you see the way that Marauder just swiped its booty out to hit Ali Uber just to put some extra style on the performance. That was really cheeky at the end.
Really, real flourish there. Showboating, some might say, but it worked nonetheless. So you can't really argue with results. Let's proceed with the second event of this heat. Now let's see what we've got coming up. Zook cubes, interesting. Coming up multiple times here. Marauder actually would have been very useful here, but can't be used. Let's see who we have contending.
It's Excalibur Mark III. We did see Excalibur Mark III having trouble getting through some obstacles earlier on, so that's potentially a bit worrying for Apex Industries. For the basketball superstars, it's Ali Uber.
This is a real test of modern versus veteran, young versus old, new versus old, and they're immediately straight through. But this seems to be a redemption story for I can't remember the name of the team, but the redemption story for them nonetheless. Ali Uber, despite having seen this course before, we presume, does not have the power to push through those cubes in the same way.
Exactly, as you say, it's a redemption story for Excalibur Mark II, for Mark III even, for Apex.
Oh, that's the name!
Just seemed to have more juice in the tank towards the end of that event, I would say. So that's going to be 2-0 for Apex Industries at this point. We've still got one event to go, and it's going to be Zook Marbles. It's quite a similar event to Zook Cubes, but this is all randomly generated. It can happen. You've got to have strength in depth.
We have to wonder if, again, those two Zooks of Marauder and Excalibur would have been potentially quite useful here. But let's see how Greyhound does. As a competitor, I guess none other than Ali Uber. Again.
Is it Ali Uber again? Wow.
It's again. I didn't believe it. Well, he's got to be tired by now, at least. But
yeah, I wonder if that's going to be a factor. There's only one way to know for sure. Let's watch what happened.
Okay, the main thing you've got to worry about is those doors, because those doors can really play a factor in going into this. But Ali Uber's already taken the lead, and I believe that's a victory to Ali Uber, and that's what you got to be pleased with that. After two wins down, two losses in fact, you really needed a win to perhaps improve your chances of getting out of groups.
Yeah, Greyhound has the speed, but not the strength for this kind of event. So, it wasn't a bad showing, but Ali Uber was really better suited, I think, for this kind of event. Apex Industries has beaten the basketball superstar by 2 points to 1. Our next pair of opponents is going to be Shoe is Hot against Mad Skills. The first event is going to be Zook in a China Shop. And for Shoe is Hot, we've seen Shokyaku before, and now this is Shokyaku's chance to show what it can do, knocking down all those pins. And Mega Strider 2. We already saw Mega Strider 2 do a somewhat chaotic performance at Zook in a China Shop earlier on, so maybe Mega Strider 2 can hold it together this time a bit better.
Immediately off the mark. I've never actually been to a China shop, but I presume this is exactly what it looks like, and that is a damaging first few seconds. Those rows are really not. To be honest, I'll be surprised if there are any left with this. I think this is already the record for the amount of pins, and if this hits 200, I would not be surprised. Shokyaku's got stuck though. That's got to be. Well, I would say it's a problem, but then again, Shokyaku's already probably done enough.
Well, it was a very strong performance, at least at the start for Shokyaku. That shovel was just effortlessly sweeping away rows and rows of those pins. But yeah, got beached at the end, and you have to wonder if that's going to come back to bite it later on. The final score for Shokyaku then, 162. A very high bar.
It's Mega Strider 2, the successor to Mega Strider 1 after Mega Strider 1 was done for doping, and Mega Strider 2 is already taken out a huge number of pins. This is a much better performance than last time. Not off the table, doing both sides of the table again, which many forget, and constantly seems to be putting pressure on that 160s total. I think this is already won, and there's still time to go. And honestly, this is just adding insult to injury. Off the table, it doesn't matter. That has to be, I'm going to guess 200.
I was pleased to see Mega Strider 2 get his head back in the game after the early jitters, I would say. Held it together almost for the whole 25 seconds. 265 knocked down.
That might even be a record.
It's the highest we've seen so far.
So the record then. The record. Let's say the record as the
Yeah,
first
we'll take
official
that.
BAMZOOKi tournament.
That does mean it is 1-0 to Mad Skills as we find out what the next event is. It is Zook Smash. And Wings of Fire is the choice for Team Shoe is Hot. And Anarchist, the Edgelord, will take his place for Team Mad Skills.
Clashing patterns are in this year, this week, and especially in the BAMZOOKi tournament. Who's your money on?
Oh, this is close. I can't call it. Devil Panda 555.
And the team smashed through the initial blocks. No real trouble there. And they're neck and neck at the large rectangular blocks. But Wings of Fire just manages to turn a little quicker. And that orientation, that ability to keep your head your head in game and your eyes on a prize seems to have paid off. Anarchist, bit of an anarchist, decides not to win.
Yeah, it was a strong start for Anarchist. But I think the profile, the sleek profile of Wings of Fire really... was a great design choice there from Shu. Able to move through the blocks much easier than Anarchist. We have one event left. It's Zook Cubes again. Overheat is the choice for Shu is Hot. With that high ground clearance. What do you make of that?
Very interesting play. Instead of trying to go for the most power and the most speed, well, there is speed here, but the tactic of avoiding the blocks might really change the meta in terms of how to do well in this event.
Yes, and by contrast, for Mad Skills, Mighty Bob will be the representative.
I'm excited to see how this goes. This could really, if anything, whoever wins this could really change the future of how people approach this event in BAMZOOKi.
Yeah, this is a generation-defining event that we're about to witness here.
Oh, and then immediately after, they're both doing powerfully. Overheat overturns at the line. That's... I cannot see what happened there, but Overheat seems to have overturned just before the line. If we look at a closer zoom, Overheat flips.
It's a chaotic event for sure. Overheat got off to an incredible start, just leaping over those cubes, whereas Mighty Bob has to push through them. But Overheat flips over onto its back right before the end, and then Mighty Bob pushes it over the line. That's going to be a victory for Overheat.
Alright, well, as we approach the final round of matches, let's head back to Group A and see how close these teams are. Now, let's don't forget, Team Andrew Eat by Balls has by default already qualified. The true match between the Anagrams, Canary Wolf, and Zog Performance. Zog Performance have a chance, but it's minimal. Canary Wolf, Anagrams, honestly, anyone could win. A 2-1 victory, or a 3-0 victory for either of them could be the deciding factor between qualifying for the next round or being knocked out in groups.
Indeed. And now for our next match, we have Canary Wolf. Needing to pick up some points here, facing off against the as yet undefeated Team Andrew Eat by Balls. The first event. It's Zook Cubes.
Bulldozer for Cubes, potentially a good event for Bulldozer, but Bulldozer hasn't performed well in the other events, so who's to say that Bulldozer has the confidence for this one?
Yes, and Merry-Go-Zook is the choice for Team Andrew Eat by Balls. We've already established that Merry-Go-Zook is the Alpha Cube. Can Bulldozer become the Alpha Cube? Bear in mind, look, they've also got a cubic design going on there for Bulldozer.
And Merry-Go-Zook's already off to an incredible start. Bulldozer's struggling and getting caught in the cubes. That high ground clearance not coming into the factor, but Merry-Go-Zook's pure cube knowledge, being a cube itself, seems to have paid off, and Bulldozer can't even reach the end of the line. Oh, that's got to be devastating for your team.
Yeah, Bulldozer really struggling here, actually, getting beached almost on those cubes, whereas Merry-Go-Zook, we've already seen it before, just gets the job done almost effortlessly in comparison. That's going to be a 1-0 lead for Team Andrew Eat by Balls. Let's move on to the next event, Zook Marbles. And now we have Crocodile King for Canary Wolf, who we saw get a bit lost in this event earlier on. So this is an opportunity for redemption. And Tuna Fish 2 lines up for Team Andrew Eat by Balls with that powerful nose that's going to maybe lead it to victory.
Well, crocodiles definitely eat tuna in the wild, I'm certain. So this is perhaps a chance for Tuna to get one back on the crocodiles. It is honestly a tight contest at the start. Crocodile King seems to have the lead. Tuna Fish 2 not performing badly, but a sudden late surge seems to have been all that was needed to gain a victory. And I think that means Eat by Balls is still undefeated.
Yeah, that's right. It's a similar story for Crocodile King. Look, watch this. Right at the end, just takes a wayward hit from one of the panels, which allows Tunafish 2 to just get that final little dash to the line. It was better from Crocodile King, but still, something's wrong. Something's wrong with Crocodile King. Just not focusing.
Very wrong. Very wrong. One misplaced foot can be your death sentence in this game. And in life, some might say. That's a moral that my mother taught me at a young age.
Straight from the mouth of Jake Humphrey himself. We have Zook in a China Shop. Stingfire is the choice for Team Canary Wolf. Now, Stingfire did actually do Zook in a China Shop in the TV show and won. So Stingfire definitely has some pedigree here. But Tooth Decay has so far been exceptional for Team Andrew Eat by Balls, so will be an intimidating opponent for Stingfire. Well, it's Stingfire's turn first.
And immediately off the line to go straight into the pins in front of us. A bit of a turn, but I like that tactic of it going to the edge of the table first. But, oh, wow, that is, for someone who's familiar with this particular event, not what you want to see. I guess that's, to be honest, that performance has got a sting.
Very clever, Devil Panda 555. Yeah, I'm not sure what went wrong here. It might just be the
Thank you.
The old joints you were mentioning as an issue for Ali Uber earlier. You wonder whether Stingfire is also maybe past its prime at this point. Not a great score, to be honest, for Stingfire. What was the final score? The final score was 59 pins for Stingfire, knocked down.
It's not the worst we've had, but it's certainly not the best.
Yeah, it's doable for Tooth Decay, you'd have to say.
Into the square. I believe Tooth Decay's maneuverability might be useful. It actually has a nodding feature in the front segment, which allows it to have a better climbing. But there's not not a lot of size. But it seems to be packing a punch, and those are very clever pushes from Tooth Decay, making sure to hit the pins front on, so they cause a large row to fall down. Tooth Decay getting a little bit stuck, a little bit hampered over those, but it keeps powering through. Let's even gather any more pins, and it seems to be going towards that large pile at the end, and that's good tactical play from Tooth Decay. Still large sways not taken, but well, it seems to have been enough.
Yeah, it was smart play from Tooth Decay. Not an amazing score, but 106 is enough to seal the 3 points for Team Andrew Eat by Balls. Let's see where that leaves the standings at this point. Team Andrew Eat by Balls.
Yeah!
What on earth is going on here?
How has this happened?
This is terrible, to be honest. I really wanted you to do badly, and you've absolutely smashed it, to be honest.
I'm a genius. I'm a genius at engineering. I'm gonna send this to NASA. NASA can NASA can hire me for how well I build Zooks. I'm sure they don't have any, I'm certain.
It does mean, though, that Canary Wolf now cannot qualify for the next round, so it will be between the Anagrams and Zog Performance. And as you pointed out before, it's doable for Zog Performance, but it would be quite a remarkable comeback. They need to win 3-0. If Zog Performance can win 3-0 against the Anagrams, then Zog Performance goes through. Otherwise, the Anagrams will be joining Team Andrew Eat by Balls in the knockout rounds. Here we go, the final match of Group A. We have the Anagrams against Zog Performance. The first match is going to be Zook Tag. We haven't seen this one yet. We have When Aim clanmates lining up for the Anagrams. This is an anagram of...
let me have a go. I think this is anyways, this is an anagram of Hen, Wame, clanmates.
That's a very clever anagram there, Devil Panda 555. A true wordsmith. And When Aim Clanmates is going to be lining up against Wiz, who we've seen a couple of times already. Well, here we go. Remember, Zog Performance, represented by Wiz, needs to win all 3 events to get into the next round.
You've got to wonder what's going through their heads as they look at their goal, and immediately, very speedy, Wiz takes, this is an easy win for Wiz. When Aim Clanmates mucks up at the first, the second, I believe, tag, and, Wiz falls off as well, but you gotta wonder if that's more out of solidarity rather than a muck up of or a lack of clever foot placement, because When Named Clanmates really stuffed the boat on this one.
Yeah, it was an okay start for When Named Clanmates, actually managing to get the first 2 points. But Wiz got the following 3 and then decided to flex by just throwing itself off the edge. That's going to be a stylish 3-2 victory for Wiz to give Zog Performance a 1-0 lead. And the next event...
This is looking good for Zog, but they've got a long way to go.
Look who it is again. It's our good friend Zook Cubes. BAMZOOki is the choice for the anagrams. This is an anagram of Rock Burden's Zook.
And hopefully BAMZOOki will be a rock for their team
rather than
this
a burden.
event.
And the opponent is Grumpy. Seen this one previously on Zook Cubes, getting a little bit stuck actually. So this is an opportunity to put that right.
And as we look at those familiar cubes, BAMZOOki falls behind, a problem consistently for this event. And well, that's got to be good for Team Zog, because they're 1 win away from potentially going into a tiebreak and going to the head-to-heads, the head-to-head battle off in terms of who actually gets through to the next round.
Yeah, Grumpy I think was a bit smart this time, going towards the edge where there aren't quite as many cubes. So it's not just aggression from Grumpy, it's smart play as well. It's planning, it's strategy.
Well, there's all to play for right now as we enter Zook Smash, a rarely seen event currently. We've seen it maybe, I believe, twice so far this tournament, perhaps even once, if my memory fails me. But let's see who we have up against each other.
Well, we have Biofin's Mazoku for the anagrams, and we already saw Biofin's Mazoku win this event earlier on, so that's got to give them some confidence. And Sarah Striker for Zog. Now, Sarah Striker has not been great so far. This would redeem everything though. If Sarah Striker could clutch this one out and get the 3-0 victory for Zog.
Sarah Striker already on the edge of the table. Sarah Striker had a lot of pace, which proved to be its downfall in events like Merry-Go Zook. But then again, perhaps here as a straight line event, Sarah Striker can really utilise its power, and they're off the mark. And that's going to be disaster for Sarah Striker. And an excellent performance from Bin Mathers Gates, or whatever his name is. But Sarah Striker barely gets to the second, doesn't even get to the second obstacle.
Yeah, that was a brilliant performance from Biofin's Mazoku. Sarah Striker I think the manager should be having words for certain. But let's congratulate the anagrams. If we look at the final standings then for Group A, it does mean the anagrams have secured their place in the knockout rounds, alongside Team Andrew Eat by Balls.
Despite only 4 points, very close, but 4 victories is enough in this case, with only 2 from the 2 worst performing teams.
Yeah, we have to say goodbye to Canary Wolf and Zog Performance here. Let's go over to Group B then. We have 1 more round of matches in Group B. This is where things left off, with Shu in the lead, followed by Mad Skills, and then Apex Industries and The Basketball Superstar. Still in contention, but with some work to do.
I honestly can see anyone getting out of this group.
Yeah, it really is quite open, this one. Our first match, though, is between Shu is Hot, will be the green team, and then the red team is The Basketball Superstar. Currently first and last in the table, I believe.
Technically, The Basketball Superstar can actually come first in the group if they win these 3 points. I think they win in the head-to-heads.
Yeah. So it really is all to play for. The first event is Zook Marbles.
We're back again to a fan favourite, and that fan is me.
And Shokiaku is going to be the pick for Shu is Hot. Certainly on a hot streak this Zook. Who have we got for The Basketball Superstar? Well, it's The Basketball Superstar. It's Ali Uber.
Interestingly, we've never seen Ali Uber actually play basketball. The myths exist and the rumours exist, but the visual proof is still lacking.
I think you might have unearthed the biggest BAMZOOKi conspiracy of all time. Let's see how Ali Uber can do here in Zook Marbles.
Well, Ali Uber is making a strong first step, but Shogiyaku speeds ahead, and Shogiyaku has honestly been a one to watch this tournament, carrying the team when other members of the team are failing
Yeah, it was just a case of speed here. I think they were both decent enough at pushing the marbles out of their way, but Shoki Akira has just got that extra gear compared to Ali Uber. Look at this, the sleek design just makes it look so easy, but this is a difficult event. Next we have Zook Ball. We haven't seen this one yet. I'm very excited to see how this pans out. It's a penalty shootout where each Zook gets 2 penalties, and the choice for Shoe is Hot is going to be Overheat. An interesting choice with those spindly legs.
I've got to disagree with that decision. I'm not even sure it can even hit the ball. I think it's too tall to maybe do a possible impact. And even if it did have a good impact, it's too thin to have any sort of aim.
You've got to have question marks about Overheat for this one. We've got Ali Uber making an appearance as well. First penalty here for the green team. Shoe is Hot. Overheat steps up to take the first shot.
You got to think about the pressure in their heads. Overheat goes to the line and... Well, I will eat my words. That was a near perfect penalty from Overheat. Ali Uber couldn't even put up a fight.
Fantastic. It just had too much power, I think. Good start. That's one scored for Overheat. Now it's Ali Uber's turn to have a shot.
Well, goal here is needed to at least get the win in this event, but that's skillfully kept as by Overheat as the keeper. I'm starting to think Overheat is made for this. Overheat could play football for England.
I think quite easily. You know, if Harry Maguire can make the team, then I don't see why Overheat shouldn't be in contention. So it means that...
suck on that, Harry Maguire.
The best Ali Uber can do now is get a draw, but Overheat can put this out of reach with another goal. Let's see if that can happen.
And Overheat aims... Oh, well, that is pure skill. 5-star skills on FIFA as Overheat moves it round the keeper and slots it into the back of the net.
That's exceptional.
Ali Uber's,
exceptional tackles.
It's looking grim. Exceptional
Look at this.
tackles.
Sends the keeper the wrong way. Overheat went right the first time, so dummies to go right, and then at the last second sends it left. Absolutely fantastic.
Clinical from Overheat. If I had Overheat in my fantasy football team, I would not be bottom of my fantasy football league.
We've all been there. Only a consolation goal to play for here for Ali Uber, but let's see what Ali Uber can do.
Well, maybe some pride can be restored on Ali Uber's behalf, and that confidence and that pride may be helpful in the next round. But Ali Uber, oh wow, that's... Well, okay. No. That little flick rounds the ball. I can see how it would work as a little intimidation, a little flourish tactic, but is that really time for Ali Uber to do that, considering Ali Uber's behind? I think Overheat is intimidated by that, especially how confident Overheat has been this round. Ali Uber also scuffs the shot.
Yeah, I think if you go for that kind of flourish, you've got to at least hit the target. I mean, that was pretty shambolic. I mean, I think we can see why Ali Uber is the basketball superstar and not the football superstar.
Well, as we head into the third event of this matchup between these two teams, the basketball superstar is going to need a victory to at least be in contention of getting through the next round. Even then, there's potentially the chance that they won't. I actually think about it. I don't think they can get through the next round. This might just be what is considered a match of honour for the basketball superstar. Yeah,
it's not looking good for them right now. And Zook Cubes, we saw them struggle with earlier. We'll have to see if things go better this time. For Shoe is Hot, we have Tzukal Zook. Big, intimidating, red.
Red is the colour of danger.
And we have Ali Uber.
Green, the colour of lack of danger. Whereas colour coordination is actually helpful because the green's in the red and the red's in the green. But Ali Uber takes the initial lead. Those wall-like legs slow the opposition down considerably. And Ali Uber, it doesn't matter that much. It won't get them out of the group. But at least it's a good note to end on.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's something to take away from this at least. That's a solid performance from Ali Uber. Tzukal Zook just didn't really have the speed for this, to be honest. And it means that Shoe is Hot beats the basketball superstar 2-1, which leaves Group B looking like this. The basketball superstar moves ahead of Apex Industries, but still won't be able to qualify for the knockout rounds. Apex Industries and Mad Skills, it is all to play for. Whoever wins that match is going to go through to the next round. Everything to play for. We go into the first match here, which is going to be Merry Go Zook.
Haven't seen it for a while. Let's see who the contenders are. Fury.
We haven't seen Fury yet. This is small, middle finger. got an attitude.
Middle
Problem,
finger to
I
the
would say.
opposition. I'd be intimidated.
But will Marauder Mark II be intimidated? That's a pick for Apex Industries. We've seen Marauder Mark II beat Aliuba at Merry Go Zook. Well, it's all on the line, so let's kick things off.
This really is a David versus Goliath story. Marauder takes the centre, but looks slightly out of control. But then again, it's enough. It's enough. Doesn't last that long overall, Marauder, but... Well, it's lasting longer than I thought it would, but, how do you feel, PLATePUSS?
Pretty disappointed with that, to be honest. Marauder just had too much bulk for Fury in the end. And we've seen that flourish, that technique, where it just whips out its abdomen at the opponent. And for Fury, that's a lot of weight coming at you very fast. Fury just couldn't handle it. We go into Ready Steady Zook now. Fury would have been my number one pick for this, but we have Anarchist now, deputising for Fury.
You have to wonder if Anarchist is the best Zook for essentially a competition about control, and Anarchy, opposite of control.
It's a bad omen for sure. And Pioneer, though, is going to be the opponent. Now, we saw Pioneer earlier on, a little bit clumsy, a little bit reckless. So I'm sure the manager will have given Pioneer some advice, a bit of a pep talk. Can Pioneer hold it together a bit better this time around? Well, first up, we have Anarchist.
Anarchist waits at the line. Anarchist eyeing down its path. Seeing those squares which Anarchist has to hit. Now, not the first choice, second choice. Got to feel a bit of pressure to perform to the maximum level that he can. But then again, this is good off the line. Anarchist does a nice turn. Does not hit 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not the worst. Managed to do the final turn, knocks down a bunch, speedy time, but you have to wonder if that lack of care is going to impact the final result.
Yeah, Anarchist by name, Anarchy by nature. There was a little bit of chaos out there, a few pins knocked down, but overall, not too bad. Got round the course very quickly, in fact. 9 seconds, but 8 pins knocked down.
Fastest time to get round.
But the overall score is
time
going to be 17. Up steps Pioneer now.
Actually, both have a very similar issue, very wide frames. Pioneer, Pioneer has got a very large score last time. Let's see if that repeats, because Pioneer goes round the first, hits the first square, hits the second square, knocks over a couple of pins. Oh, the same sort of problems as Anarchist, which is good for Anarchist, because Pioneer looks like the slower of the two, and if Pioneer knocks over, and it doesn't even, it's a DNF for Pioneer, so it doesn't even matter how fast the times are. Anarchist is, well, that's going to be a relief for Anarchist, because Pioneer potentially, if they aimed that final corner perfectly, could have got a better time, but Anarchist has got to be pleased, as have you.
Pretty pleased with that. I think Anarchist got away with one a little bit there. That levels up the scores. It is 1-1, which means that whoever wins the final event will go through to the knockout rounds. And once again, it is Zook Smash.
Mighty Bob moves on and is your representative for this final event and the PLATePUSS team up against Excalibur MK3. If Mighty Bob plays this perfectly, I think it could be a victory for Mighty Bob. But if Mighty Bob... I think this is Mighty Bob's to lose. A mistake from Mighty Bob, it could be an easy victory for Excalibur.
Yeah, it's all to play for here. It's quite remarkable that we have the exact same situation in both groups where whoever wins Zook Smash goes through to the next round. I can't call it. Let's just see what happens.
As we enter the final stage of the groups, the final event of the groups, the two are lining up and eyeing up the line. We see immediately, well, they both go off the mark incredibly quick. Mighty Bob takes I can't, well, that looked like potentially a photo finish, obscured by pillars. I wonder if Excalibur took the lead just at the end. It was close, very close. Mighty Bob, mighty effort, but I wonder if Excalibur, under all that wreckage and that rubble, got a foot on the door first.
Very close finish, very close finish. My heart was in my mouth watching this. The sad reality, though, for me, the truth is, Excalibur Mark III just about got a foot over the line before Mighty Bob. It was so close, all the way up till the end. It's hard to get a good angle with all the debris flying around at the end. But Excalibur Mark III does take the victory.
Well, Mighty Bob, good attempt, but unfortunately it's not enough. And even with the 4 points equal, Apex Industries wins the tiebreaker, meaning it's sending Mighty Bob and his fellow competitors back home and back to the drawing board. for next year.
It's a tough result to take, being level on points and going out to such a tiny margin. But there we go. The winner of Group B is confirmed to be Shoe is Hot, and the runner-up is Apex Industries.